Hey guys, so today's going to be a video on Robo Hamster Care. This is just going to be care tips on Robo Hamsters. This video was requested by Skater17382, so I'll put the username right down there and leave a link to the channel in the description bar below. Also, All and Out Hamsters 21 requested for L'Oreal to be in the next video, so here she is. And just to let you guys know, this is not their cage, this is only their playpen. Also, I'm filming this video outside, so sorry if you guys hear any background noises. So first off, you want to make sure that you have a cage that does not have a huge bar spacing. This is because robos are really tiny little animals and can slip through small bar spacing in hamster cages. I recommend using DIY cages or bin cages for a hamster cage and use chicken wire for ventilation, because then your hamster will have a really hard time getting between the spacings because they are really tiny. But in the end, unless you have enough pet store cages to fill the requirement of 360 square inches, you should not be using a pet store cage, therefore not giving you that problem. However, if you do have enough pet store cages to fill the requirement of 360 square inches, I, as a tip learned from the internet, use my pinky finger and see if you can squeeze it between the bars easily. If you can, then you should definitely not get that cage. Another tip for robo hamsters is to be very patient when taming them. My two robo hamsters took about 3 to 4 weeks each to complete their taming process. The reason for this is that it takes a lot of patience for someone to tame a robo. Robos are considered more of a watch hamster, but I've been able to successfully tame mine and past robo hamsters. There are some cases, though, where the hamsters are very easy to tame. It really depends on how mature the person is and how the hamster's personality is. Next, robos are very energetic little hamsters, probably the most energetic species of hamster. Therefore, you should try to supply them with a cage bigger than 360 square inches, especially if you have a pair. They'll appreciate it a lot. Another thing with robos is the size of their wheel. This has gone a bit back and forth for some time. If you can, I suggest getting the regular size silent spinner. However, small robos can have the mini silent spinner as long as it doesn't make the hamster's back arch. This can cause back pain if repeated often enough. However, I have found that with the large silent spinners, my robos have horrible control of their speed and tend to flip a lot. L'Oreal tends to have really good speed in the mini ones, and Sephora very rarely ever flips in it. But I found both of them flipping much more with the large one, so I decided to stick with the small one due to injuries that will occur if I continue to use the large one. Also, try to supply your robo with a lot of playtime outside of their cage. I recommend either using a playpen like the one I have here, putting down some fabric in your bathtub, not filled with water of course, and put a lot of toys and hides in it in houses to let them run around. Because of their energy level, I recommend letting them run around for 20 minutes a day at least. I found that this works best for my robos. You should also try to supply your robos with some more items in their cage to run around and play on. Because they're much more energetic, you should try to put some toilet paper tube rolls and paper towel rolls in there too to entertain them when you're not home. You should also try to have a second story in their cage with their food on top of it to make them run up the ladder for their food for exercise. It's not mandatory, but it's just a suggestion. Another suggestion that I have is to use a food bowl in the robo hamster's cage that is big enough for them to comfortably sit in to eat. I have found that my robos and dwarves, and also on the internet other people's robos and dwarves, like to sit in their food bowl to eat their food. Something that you might want to try with your robo is to scatter feed some food in the cage, or before you go to bed at night, leave a small treat like a sunflower seed on top of their house. This makes it so that the hamster will have to climb on top of the house to get the food. It just gives them a bit more exercise and that foraging instinct. I found that my robos seem to eat the not-so-favorite parts of their food if they find it. It's something to do with their foraging instinct. Also, you should try using half Aspen and half KT Clean and Cozy for your robo if you can, because they are great beddings for burrowing. Robos especially love to burrow, and those beddings seem to keep their shape well if burrowed in. The last thing is to try feeding your robos not too many treats. This is because their body-to-treat ratio is a lot bigger than other hamsters. For example, if you were to take a sunflower seed and compare it to Syrian's body, you might say that the body-to-treat ratio is 1 to 20. A robo's body-to-treat ratio for that same treat may be 1 to 10. Therefore, the treat will have more of an impact on the robo, meaning that they will end up getting more of a percentage of sugar in their diet than a Syrian would. If you can, I suggest breaking the treat into smaller pieces if it's too big. So yeah guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Say bye, Sephora. Oh, I'm sorry, did I scare you a little bit? Sorry. Bye.